A rich life isn't a straight line to a destination on the horizon. Sometimes it takes an unexpected turn, with detours, new possibilities, and even another passenger, or three. And with 100 years of navigating ups and downs, you can count on Edward Jones to help guide you through it all. Because life is a winding path, made rich by the people you walk it with. Let's find your rich together. Edward Jones, member SIPC. What does it mean to live a rich life? It means brave first leaps, tearful goodbyes, and everything in between. With over 100 years' experience navigating the ups and downs of the market and of life, your Edward Jones financial advisor will be there to help you move ahead with confidence. Because with all you've done to find your rich, we'll do all we can to help you keep enjoying it. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Hello, I'm Sarah.
I'm Toby.
And welcome to day 8 of 12 days of Festive Frights. I've got 4 spooky stories to share today. We'll get straight into them. Are you ready for the first story?
Yes, I am.
Weird experience. This took place in Japan. I lived there for 10 years. I've no idea what it could have been, but I think it could have been a mononoke or some other weird spirit. Basically, it was like 4 in the morning, and I heard what sounded like a woman scream out on the road. It's like 200 feet from my apartment. I lived on the 9th floor. Sometimes drunk people make a ruckus, so I just ignored it, and it happened again. So I took notice, and on the 3rd scream, I went out to look. Once I got out onto the walkway, it sounded like it was coming from the foot of the building, and I leaned to look over. Then it sounded like it was further down to the right and a couple of floors down. So I walked to the right, and then I heard it from like the floor below, but way down the hall. I was starting to think it was weird that the sound kept seeming to change where it was coming from, and it seemed like this scream was happening at the same intervals, like every 15 seconds. I walked a little further down and was getting near the stairwell. The next scream sounded really hoarse and almost like it had an animal quality to it. And it dawned on me the scream had been changing timbre, and it reached a point I had noticed it. I stopped, and then the next scream sounded like what I would describe as a fox scream, coming from a human's mouth, 1 floor down in the stairwell. Then it went silent for like a minute, and I took a couple of steps forward. Till that point, I only had felt concern for if someone was in trouble. But then I got goosebumps from my arms up to the back of my head. Then immediately around the corner from me, where the stairs were, I heard 2 sounds at once. One like someone was whispering really loudly, and one like someone was talking with gurgling sounds. I froze and started backing away, and everything went silent. Like there was no ambient traffic sounds or train sounds. I lived next to a train station. It was dead and completely silent, and I felt like something was watching me. I backed all the way back to my apartment and didn't hear anything until I got back inside. Oh, that's a bit spooky. I love this because we haven't had many sort of ghost stories from Japan. I mean, we've covered folklore creatures, but we haven't had people's experiences of yuri and stuff like that in Japan. So I wanted to include it because I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I think my screams would have just joined in.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what can you do?
Scream. I scream back.
It's got to blend in, hasn't it?
Yeah. Are you ready for the second story?
Yes,
My most recent sighting, Yi Navalushi encounter. I live on the Navajo reservation, and a few days ago, I saw my most recent shapeshifter. It happened at a well on the res. There's no water infrastructure, so most people haul water to their homes. On this day, I checked on my relatives and they needed water. I took the truck down and loaded up their buckets and jugs. For water, there is a beautiful valley with a wash going down the middle. Inside the wash is an old surface well with an old hand pump. I call it beautiful because there are lots of trees and grass surrounding the well, and it makes me feel happy and exhilarated. I unpacked the water containers and filled them. This took about 10 minutes. Afterwards, I diligently placed the jugs and buckets back into the truck. As my passenger and I got back into the cab of the truck, I noticed movement on a nearby hill. I pointed to the hill and said, "There's somebody up there." As I spoke, we clearly saw an old man with a cane. When he saw us peering at him, he quickly hobbled behind a dirt outcropping. Rather than driving off, I waited. "Let's see what he does," I said, as we both eyed the outcropping. I expected him to hobble out the other side and wave at us. Seconds later, a crow flew out from behind the outcropping. The crow flew over us and down the valley. Our eyes widened and we sat, speechless. I started the truck and drove off. When we pulled onto the road, I said, "I didn't know they can become crows." This is a great story because it just sounds so authentic, and I can imagine it happening in my mind's eye. The old man disappearing and this crow coming out in its place.
Yeah.
I'd be transfixed by that. I really would. And a little bit jealous.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick.
Yeah, turn into a crow, fly off. Are you ready for the third story?
Yes, I am.
My strange encounter one night. During my time at school, a few precarious circumstances landed me with no car. Because of this, I was forced to move to an apartment that would have put me within striking distance of my campus. Being that it was about a 2-mile journey, with my city's relatively small downtown falling in between my complex and school, I found it most rational to purchase an electric scooter as my primary form of transportation. My city ran alongside a river, and my apartment happened to border it. This gave me a nice view, but more importantly, it gave me direct access to the greenway that allowed me to circumvent all traffic on my scooter. It was a straight shot from one end of the city, my campus, to the other, where I lived. The greenway did have one flaw that regularly proved to be detrimental. There was almost no light for about 1/4 of a mile in the section behind my apartment and where I got on. My scooter was nice, but the headlight was abysmal. I resolved to cease using it entirely instead relying on my eyes to be able to discern movement on the path ahead. During my year-long stay at Riverside, I could count on one hand the number of people I saw on the path after dark. Guess I was the only one crazy enough to be out there so late, so regularly. I drove past a naked homeless person tweaking about a mile from my house. Calling the cops upon my arrival back home, I drove past one man whose chilling gaze could be even felt in the pitch black. He must have not been too happy to see an electric vehicle with no lights at such an hour, which I couldn't blame him for. Of the encounters I had on that path, there is only one that still haunts me. One I couldn't tell my friends or family about, because I was sure no one would believe me. Like any other of my evening commutes, I made it to the gate in the back of my complex that led up to my home. I was confident in the dark, and I didn't frighten easily. But as I unlatched the gate, I felt the sensation I had when that man was staring me down. I was being watched. Looking down the path to the section that lay ahead, about 20 yards or so, under a flickering orange street lamp that signified the end of the greenway, was a German shepherd, staring at me. It was as if it had been taxidermied. I couldn't see it breathing or blinking, just staring. Its eyes were almost human. Despite the distance, I could easily discern its iris, small and beady. I felt frozen, and a morbid sense of dread overwhelmed me. I didn't dare to get any closer, nor did it. We were locked within a mutual trance, and the entire time it was completely still. I wasn't sure how long I'd been standing there, but I didn't take my eyes off it. I felt like that's what it wanted. I knew my gaze was the only thing holding it in place. The river flowing and the sound of cars passing by on a nearby highway felt deafening. Further down the path in the foliage, adjacent, past whatever that thing was, there was a crackle of twigs being broken under the pressure of what was likely a bunny or groundhog. Before the sound even finished reverberating, the thing had snapped its head to the direction of its source, like an owl. Electrical pulses were surging through my body, and I could feel every nerve screaming at me to immediately break from my apartment. However, I was so paralysed with fear that I kept my gaze upon the creature. Knowing where it was the only thing providing me a sense of comfort. Then, after it had seemingly ascertained the location of the animal, it leapt up on its hind legs and darted into the woods. Like a bolt of lightning, it was gone, and it took a few seconds for the rest of my body to catch up to what my eyes just saw. Finally, realising that thing was fixated on something beside me, I immediately swung open the gates and carried my scooter up the mulchy hill onto the parking lot. In one motion, I turned it on, placed it down, and started riding to the side of the complex my apartment was. I was on autopilot, focused on perfectly executing whatever actions would lead to the security of my covers. Before I knew it, I was in my home. When I finally sat down on my bed, I felt like I needed to cry. I couldn't understand what had just happened, but with a million thoughts racing through my head, I was just happy the encounter was over. For the rest of my time at Riverside, I decided dealing with the extra traffic going through downtown was worth it, being in the safety of light. I could handle racing past crackheads and junkies, but I never wanted to see that thing again. I haven't had another similar incident And when I finally got another car after I graduated, I began to feel safe commuting again. However, I still live in the city. Noises at night make me feel uneasy now. And one time I could swear there was something tapping on my bedroom window. I don't think I'm ever going to be the same, and the confidence I had to take care of myself in the dark has all but vanished. There are things out there that aren't what they seem. Things beyond our comprehension and understanding. Don't try to be brave. Don't try to be a hero. Trust me, it's not worth it. That's a bit freaky, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's because as well, you can imagine doing the same thing because you like going on your electric scooter, don't you, when you have one?
Yeah.
And you'd be like taking off here and there and seeing a dog. Because we've covered a not dog, that's what I'm calling them, before in a previous episode where somebody saw a dog, but it wasn't a real dog. It was like, I don't know where this story is. So I could say it was a skinwalker, but I've no idea where in the world this takes place. But I am particularly frightened of Alsatians or German Shepherds anyway. So if one was there staring at me...
I'm scared of chihuahuas, mate.
They're vicious. They're so vicious. Like, people look at Luna and they're really frightened of her. But she's soft as hell, and another dog barks at her and she's gone.
Yeah, she's scared.
She's scared of everything. But yeah, chihuahuas are quite snappy.
Yeah.
Small dog syndrome. It's like me. But yeah, that would be spooky. For me, the German Shepherd is the worst not dog I could see, I think. I'm saying that, but then it might be like if you saw a Rottweiler or something, which was a not dog, that would be really scary.
Nah, I reckon an Irish wolfhound.
Yeah.
As like if it was a skinwalker.
Yeah. Terrifying.
Because they look scary in general.
Yeah.
Well, like, they don't look scary, but like I seen a photo and this big Irish wolfhound, and it's just like in the woods, like stood there.
Right.
So yeah.
Are you ready for the fourth and final story?
Yes, I am.
A voice called her name, and it led to a traumatizing encounter. I've shared many of mine and my family's experiences here, but this one is the one that gets to me the most. Once again, this is one of my mother's stories that took place when she was an early teen / preteen in her house, where all of these incidents occurred. My mum and grandma were in the living room, lounging and watching TV. My mum was sitting on one of the couches against one of the walls of the living room, which had a hallway branching off of it. My aunt was in one of the bedrooms at the end of the hall, taking a nap. As my mum watched the TV, she got distracted by a voice calling out to her. It was a loud sort of whisper that was calling her name. My mum was freaked out and didn't know what to do at first. She looked at my grandma and asked, "Did you hear that?" My grandma said she didn't hear anything and practically ignored my mum's question. My mum ignored it after that too, telling herself that she must have just been hearing things that weren't really there. Until she heard it again. A loud, long whisper that enunciated each syllable of her name, coming from nowhere. She looked again over to my grandma, more panicked this time, and asked her again if she had heard anything. My grandma had the same response and told her no. My mum stared down the hallway that branched off the living room and felt some sort of urge to go towards it. She found herself walking down the hallway, directly to the room where my aunt was taking a nap. My mum slowly opened the door and saw a big, dark, black shadow figure stood in the doorway. only a few feet or two away from her, but not for long. The shadow flew off and disappeared. My mum then looked over to my aunt sleeping in bed to see if she was seeing any of this. What she saw truly disturbs me. Similar to the shadow that was standing in front of her was a figure that was on top of my aunt. My mum said there was blackness all around the bed. My aunt just laid in bed, completely frozen, but with open eyes. Only a few seconds passed until the black figure flew off my aunt and disappeared. My aunt shot out of bed screaming and crying, saying she couldn't move. My mum thinks somehow maybe she could hear her sister calling out to her while she was being attacked by whatever entity this was, only to her. Now, this story reminded me of sleep paralysis, because what if the author saw the creature that people get in their sleep paralysis but don't actually see it in real life because they're not awake and they're under paralysis? Am I making myself clear? Not really. Clear as mud. But maybe these creatures are real, but we just go, it's sleep paralysis.
No, they're protecting us.
They're protecting us, you think?
Yeah.
From what?
When you go sleep.
Okay. What? So, okay.
But they're a bit creepy.
Yeah. I suppose it could go one way or the other, couldn't it?
That's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed and we'll catch up with you again soon.
We will indeed. We'll catch you again tomorrow. Take care, everyone.
Goodbye.
The stories told on the Whispering Woods are inspired by historical records, witness reports, and local folklore. While every effort is made to research and represent events accurately, some details, names, and locations may differ from official accounts or have been changed out of respect for those involved. These episodes are created for storytelling and entertainment purposes and should not be considered definitive fact or investigative journalism.